I hope the MCU introduces a lot of magicians like Dr. Voodoo, Magic, and etc. Just ready to see all this magic stuff with all the top tier special effects we have nowadays. You know you're a good sorcerer when you actually become the Sorcerer Supreme of Earth, replacing Doctor Strange after his temporary death because we know nobody in comics stays dead for long. Look at Clea wearing her robe, looking like Doctor Strange for real. When you look deep into Marvel, you start to realize there's a lot of magicians. There's a lot of no-name magicians, but there's also a lot of top tier magicians. Like I've done videos about Doctor Strange before, but this video is going to be about Clea, a magical being also. She's very powerful. She even has history with Doctor freaking Strange. I'm talking about a lot of history. She's a magician with an interesting family tree. She's actually the daughter of Dormammu's sister, Umar, and another guy named Orini. You would think off gate, oh, she's a bad person because that's Dormammu's freaking sister and she's related. Actually, she's a good guy, though. And just from these facts alone, you're probably thinking she has crazy genetics. And I'd have to say you're right. Anybody related to this guy to any degree, a cosmic type, Skyfather plus type being, is going to have crazy genetics off gate. You can get a visual explanation of her origin right here. It's one of them rare cases where the dad actually raised the child alone. Gosh, Umar. Clea is Umar's daughter. Astounding. Yeah, I think it's fair to say that Clea's family drama is, one could say, complicated. The traumatic act of giving birth to a child made of flesh unbalanced Umar's sanity, which is why like Umar was like, nah, I'm good, to the point where she couldn't even go to her Faltine form. Like technically that's the flame-headed like race Faltine being. Needs to get more lore on the genetics of Dormammu and Clea, technically, about the Faltine. They talk about here how the Faltine is a very old, dense universe with even greater number of dimensions than is found in the dark dimension. There is no matter, there is only energy. The universe of the Faltine was inhabited by energy creatures, a strange micro-society of what would be our norms. Quite powerful entity, like literally energy being that look like Dormammu right here. That's crazy, ain't it? Then they talk about the goals of every Faltine. Certain combinations of energies. A Faltine gives birth to a scion who is devoted to his genitor, being a smaller replica of it. I haven't even shown her feats. I'm just giving you a rundown of how good her genetics is by default. She already got an advantage over an average magician type human because of her genetics alone without even learning spells. Pretty much gives a rundown on Clea as well. Everything I pretty much said. The general public doesn't even know that she's an extra dimensional being. One can also call her the wife of Doctor Strange or Mrs. Strange, or one could say Clea Strange. She is a half Faltine, aka Dormammu, and half dark dimension mortal. She can naturally fly and hover without any type of magical spells. That's the perk of her actually having crazy genetics. Her powers can actually increase and decrease based on her peace with herself, her energy levels, and her connection to her environment. It's only natural when you hang out with Doctor Strange so much, one of the best magicians of all time. It's only natural that she will eventually get trained under him and become a disciple under him. I mean, they do like each other, right? So it's only natural for him to teach her a few things. They even state strong disciple. Just like the ancient one, I choose you to follow me, Doctor Strange says about Clea. When it comes to being a magician, I think we all can agree that knowledge is power, so you see them start studying to learn more knowledge on the things of sorcery. Over time, she even became the Sorcerer Supreme of the Dark Dimension. Look at Magic representing Sorcerer Supreme of Limbo. So yeah, she becomes a pretty top tier sorceress in the world of Marvel. One of the few beings that's comparable to Doctor Strange. But how strong are we talking? Let's find out. Since she's a top tier sorceress, she can do all the magic people type stuff that you see other magic people do in Marvel, like in my Doctor Strange video, like blast power, creating shields for herself, telekinesis, and even able to leave your body in spirit mode, aka Astral Projection, the magic people stuff. One of the most versatile characters of all time type of stuff. She can straight up freeze you or immobilize you with a simple gesture. Ridiculous mental ability. She used mental abilities to free Strange from this little curse he was going through. She had to reverse a spell, reversing the Nicodemus spell, restoring Doctor Strange's power in the process. She's great to have by your side. She can defeat you with aid of mental type of help. She can revert Hulk back to Banner with hypnosis skills. Impressive. Can straight up show you the past to Valkyrie and stuff. If you're weak-willed like these trolls, she can mind control you. Raising the dead. She can communicate with you via projection. Magic people can summon other words from other planes of existences to help her in the battle. These beings even giving Strange some issues. The reason why they're fighting, they're having some type of memory loss issue type thing. She can use her astral projection as a way of speed, like how she traveled to the center of the earth in a very short amount of time thanks to her astral projection. Because technically in your astral state, you technically don't have any mass, so it makes sense for you to be able to travel really quickly. She did a move that a lot of people thought Doctor Strange should have did to Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet, using portals to kind of take off beings' arms this way. Being a top tier magician, they know passive type spells. For those that don't know, passive type spells are spells that are just pretty much always on, and you don't have to actually cast a spell more than once and it's always on. If you was to cast an alarm system spell and you're asleep and somebody passes into that alarm system, it'll automatically know without you having to think or activated. It's just passively on all the time. That can explain why magicians can withstand such force. They probably have passive shields, just like I explained in my Doctor Strange video. You know, passive shields covering up their skin so they just don't get blown away when they're fighting extra dimensional beings and stuff. Since she actually became the Sorceress Supreme, she got a lot of the standard gear that Doctor Strange has, like the Cloak of Levitation, where she can fly, the Eye of Agamotto, and the title of Sorceress Supreme. Even though she can kind of levitate on her own, but whatever. Summon swords like projectiles to you. No problem changing her clothes on the spot. Yes, she can open up portals as well, like teleportation, going to the dimension of the mindless. When she is in her astral state, she can actually fight in her astral state. On top of the crazy speed they can move in these type states. If you try to pull up on her, she can turn your guns into snakes, then bow to her, she said. Of course, she can control winds, creating her own hurricane. Imply to be able to summon creatures, not afraid to teach you a lesson. Of course, she knows spells that phase through walls, turn you into a straight dog or a pig, transmutation type stuff. She got the little lovely appearance here. She got other forms. She's like raged up and angry. It only makes sense since she's related to Dormammu himself. She'd have an energy form, or one could say her Faultine state. They look kind of similar or remind you of Dormammu to some degree. Here's another angle of how her Faultine form looks. Flaming head, because she has the genetics of Dormammu, stuff like that. It makes sense, right? How is her magical blast power and things of that such looking? I got a video about the Enchantress herself. She's faced off against other good magical beings like Enchantress. Overwhelming. This same being, Clea, does. Working together with other powerhouses, they help knock down the cosmic all-father type being Dormammu himself, but yeah, he did get back up, but yeah. Battling beings like Archon. Notice how they state, shake the cosmos with your storm like a song. This girl used her magic to create a female version of Silver Surfer, an equal counterpart made of light, his female reflection. She's fought against the Eye of Agamotto itself. She's helping blast it alongside Strange, showing she's not dead weight. She has the power. She created a miniature sun. Yeah, she actually did it. The cover of this same comic kind of confirms. You can see her doing the same actions here. She's turning the sun into a fire freaking ball. She has no problem taking control of your sword, even if it's the ebony blade. She has binding spells that help bind top tier beings, like the Fear Lord, vampire tier like Morbius. Pretty much instantly knocked out a vampire tier like Morbius. Another occasion with Doctor Strange helping out, not being dead weight, even straight on hits from powerful entities. Regardless of all this, she's still able to help in the battle with Energy Blast, with Doctor Strange helping to bind him up, and yeah, her and Doctor Strange are the power couple. Just to give you an idea of where she ranks in the power hierarchy, this same being that she helped to bind was fighting Thor in the past. Yet she helped bind these beings that can make a mighty deity like Thor struggle. She's even taken on her own mama in a battle to really give you a clean picture of where they play in the power hierarchy. Mindless ones and everything. The way this battle is drawn, it's pretty epic how they're countering each other, absorbing, draining things like a pure magical battle. The part that makes it more impressive is that the mom obviously has more experience because the mom is older than her, right? But she does really well against her and even got the W on her own mama. This particular peculiar strange reality they was fighting in ceased to exist because of the cataclysmic energies they was both producing, even producing tremors of uncontrollable simultaneously across the dimension. You respect Clea's magical power yet? She's even a competent sorcerer to where she has no problem getting in scuffles with Dr. Doom. Something you have to respect. It was like a little scuffle. Even when they're using special stuff that takes down witches, it doesn't work against her because she's special, stopping them on the spot. This special hurricane she can just summon with her blast it right back at you. Magic people have a lot of different tricks up their sleeve. Even big old entities like this just gets messed up. One could say via absorption type stuff. Using her magic to turn into different things like that. She was able to hold open a breach made by Galactus. That freaking epic. So it's pretty cool that they're able to hold open a rift that Galactus made himself, but of course it was working together doing so. This is another working together feat, working together with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Doctor Strange. It was narrated there was a power capable of shaping or shaking a universe. Clea is a part of this with Doctor Strange helping him out. These kind of energies they're working together to maintain. We're not going to act like she ain't powerful enough to bind Mephisto, a top-tier Skyfather-ish Hellord, somewhat cosmic being type character. Them being similar to Dormammu, Faultine with the flaming heads and stuff. Blast power-wise, she technically has access to the Faultine flames of the Faultine, like big magic users like Doctor Strange saying flames of Faultine. You get an idea of these flames, you got to get an idea of the history of how they're used in the comic lore. Like it's stated that the flames of the Faultine beam will be hurled against this planet until with your very world consumed and destroyed. Flames of Faultine is this destructive when it comes to blast power. Proof that she can destroy a planet. She really can just use the flames of the Faultines. It was stated she got enough raw power to rival her demonic mother and uncle. There you go. On top of literally fighting her own mom. Clea, when it comes to her power, she has the potential of being third most powerful of us all. Clea. Keep in mind that her mother can do this to the Hulk for a little while she's trying to like kind of seduce the Hulk or whatever. Cause they like got like a little sexual history in the past and stuff. Just to give you an idea of Clea's mama's type spells she can do fighting Hulk or Gamma family powerhouse type beings with her spells. She can summon a being in battle that has shields that's so strong that Strange can't really bust through it at all, really. Not to mention, she can make protective shielding that can block against explosions of an entire world. Yeah, she can hold her weight. Even if you try to gangbang her with a whole bunch of giants, she can make shields that protect herself against this type stuff. To really see the power level they're on, her shields was withstanding a bloodlusted attack from Dormammu. They even say that the dimension's inhabitants were in danger. States, I'll see this world coming tumbling down about your ears. Their shields is able to withstand things like this, shielding from a bloodlusted attack from a cosmic being like Dormammu. Even beings empowered by an entire race of magic, shields can withstand things of this magnitude. Oh, she ain't that strong if we blitz her before she puts her shields up. Nah, she can put her shields up pretty freaking fast. To where even if the bullet's mid-flight, she can put it up before you can even do anything and then launch it. Yeah, they've had a lot of battles with Dormammu, rightfully so. And she's able to hold her ground and not just get obliterated instantaneously with her shielding. This gives you more narrative and where the writers want her to be at. I mean, she's hanging with Strange. Even Herald type beings like Nova, Herald of Galactus type beings similar to Silver Surfer. We've seen her be able to block blasts from beings this powerful, beings that can easily destroy a planet with no problem. Her shields can withstand this type of stuff. She's consistently messing up them Fear Lords with her blast power. Ghost Rider, who was powered up by Dormammu, they've even had encounters with. She can shield other people how she shielded Strange in this occasion. Clea, you are too clutch. Ghost Rider's somebody else that's a powerhouse on his own with like when it comes to blast power and stuff without Dormammu's help, but he's powered up by Dormammu even more. She still is able to shield Strange with her abilities. She even can make shields that can protect her against the entire race of mindless ones. To get a good idea of her power, I respect the fact that she was able to free Gaia from something Gaia didn't have enough power to get out or free of herself. This is extremely impressive because Marvel Gaia is insane, but Clea can let the goddess be free. Anybody that can bind Mephisto is insane, or curb stomping Enchantress, or straight up defeating her own freaking mother, who is extremely powerful in her own right. She's depicted to be the ruler of the dark dimension. It seems to be a constant overlapping thing in her narrative. Sorceress, exiled ruler of the dark dimension, a newer comic. I don't want to sound like I'm talking Chinese, but the dark dimension is a very vast dimension and she rules the entire thing. They explain it right here. Higher dimensions. Lower universes with fewer than 2.7, etc. dimensions, or toward higher ones with more than 6.29, etc. One enters universes which are truly different. Yeah, it starts sounding really sciencey and it can start sounding like Chinese for those that don't really get all this stuff. Just know that this dark dimension has a greater number of spatial dimensions than the man's universe. You respect her yet? Let's rewind real quick. Remember I showed this earlier about her helping buying these Fear Lords that are even more powerful than the Dweller of Darkness or even Nightmare themselves? Yes, this Nightmare, one of the members of the Fear Lord level, because she binded beings above this said being. Beings that she's fought that are greater than the Dweller of Darkness, even though the Dweller of Darkness is considered an elder god. Yeah. Dweller of Darkness can crack the Mcron crystal, which will shatter the universe. And this is the type of stuff she has to fight against with Doctor Strange. Yeah, they're ridiculously overpowered. She doesn't have as much screen time as Doctor Strange, but it's a very high probability she can do a lot of things he could do, like auto shields and stuff, to where she doesn't necessarily have to constantly put her shield up and stuff like that, but she still has protection regardless. Being able to defeat her mom, something that seems impossible, but she pulls it off. To really get an understanding of her power, look at her family. Without him, there would be no dark dimension. He literally sustains the dark dimension. If it not for his hand, all would gutter into nothingness, all molecular activity would cease. And this is the kind of genetics she has. But what do you guys think? Did you know she was a powerful magician like this? She's pretty under the radar. I would say she's definitely comparable to Doctor Strange to some degree. She is her own sorceress supreme of her own dimension, right? But I also have to give a quick shout out to everybody that took the time to donate to the channel. It helps out a lot, believe it or not. Respect Clea, one of the best magicians in Marvel.